Hello YouTube, this is Natanis Likens, and today I've got a little bit of a story arc that I want to discuss with you guys. This is completely unrelated to anything I'm doing in Minecraft, and it's kind of fitting that I have on this shirt. So let's talk about my idea. Now, if anybody recalls, and I don't remember the actual name of each one of them, but Tommy Oliver had come back and he was a professor and had 3 students that ended up becoming Power Rangers. So I've got kind of an idea based on that. So let's go over it a little bit. So again, we've got another professor here who is very interested in morphing items, technology, like things that cause morphing. However, he's not searching for these and researching them for any other reason than he is specifically looking for his own morphing power. Like, he's obsessed with becoming his own Power Ranger. Now, as it progresses, one important key is that we have 5 items that he has discovered that he is trying to unlock, but he can't access any one of them. And of these 5, an interesting thing is going on. Typically, the leader of a Power Ranger group is Red. Now, in this group of 5 items that he's found, none of them are red. And just as they're getting attacked and everything, these kind of glow with these 5 students or co-workers that, you know, he's been researching with, and they all become Power Rangers. So it kind of leaves him in the position of, like, you know, letting them know, hey, do this, try that. You know, kind of the background person, which you can visibly see kind of agitates him a little bit in what I'm thinking should be the entirety of Season 1. Season 2 comes around, he finds a 6th item. Again, this is not a Red Ranger one. There is no Red Ranger in this group thus far. Now, he is absolutely obsessed and frustrated, so he finds a way to make this thing activate for him. And that is where Season 2 kind of starts, and he essentially becomes the adversary for the Rangers throughout Season 2, because he's so obsessed with this that he wants it so bad, and he's trying very hard to keep it. There is a new 6th character that comes in. Obviously, that means this 6th character is the one that it is meant for. But as it progresses on, and he eventually does relinquish the power because he sees that it's like going to his head and everything, and he's causing more harm than good, he does relinquish it to this 6th person. Going into Season 3, we can see that he's, you know, pretty distraught over what he did, and maybe he's even in some kind of galactic prison for all that. And the bad guys actually break him out. And for a time, he is working with them. This is all kind of a ruse on his part, because he knows that he's got a penance to pay. So the end of Season 3, and I'm saying this only in 3 seasons, is him basically sacrificing himself for the 6 and defeating the bad guys all by himself. And that's kind of how his story goes. Now, we are going to do a 4th and 5th season, but we are not going to keep it the same thing. It's kind of broken up here, like that's the end of this one, here's a new one. This new one shows a villain that is extremely ruthless and not sending minions out, not letting others do everything that he wants done. And it just has a little bit of a montage of him absolutely destroying some Power Rangers and collecting various morphing technology pieces. I know in the past we had like swords that they use, coins, wristwatches, all sorts of different things. And we can see that he's collecting all these up. And he's experimenting with them. And in these experiments, you can see that he is trying to combine them. Now, in these experiments, you can see that it's obviously failing to some extent. He is not able to combine different sets of powers. He can combine the same colors, so he can combine green powers with green powers, white powers with white powers, gold powers with gold powers, yada yada yada. You get the idea. He can combine groups of colors, but not multiple colors. Like, he can't make a red and a green combined together. Now, what is this all for? That gets into a little bit of stuff, but eventually we get to a set of Power Rangers that, well, not a set of Power Rangers, but we get to a new group of kids that, for some reason, like maybe he kidnapped a whole bunch trying to lure out the Power Rangers, but we get to a new group of kids. And again, they managed to find his research stuff, and with these new combined powers that are far more impressive than the previous ones, they are able to hold their own against him. And that's kind of where this season starts going. Like, a few episodes in, I'm thinking, I don't know, like maybe 10 episodes in, they get these combined powers that are far more efficient. I don't really know how to say that, but they are able to hold their own. And again, none of them have the Red Ranger powers, which is, at this point, should be becoming kind of like, what is going on? Why is there no Red Ranger kind of thing? Because, as I said, typically the leader of a group of Rangers is a Red Ranger. Now, I'm not going to spoil the rest of that. I do have some more thoughts on that, and who this, you may actually be able to sniff out what I'm doing there, who this villain is. Yeah, it's probably kind of obvious, so. But yeah, that is kind of my thoughts on that, and this would be effectively like 6-7 seasons that I'm thinking, and like halfway through it, we get a whole new group kind of thing. This is more about this particular character's progression throughout it, and I do want to make a key point that he is never going to be an actual Ranger. That is kind of his struggle, is he's always wanted to be a Ranger, and eventually he realizes that he's just not going to be one. For whatever reason, he's just not chosen to be a Ranger. So, yeah, I hope you like that little idea, and I'll see you guys next time. This has been Natanus Likens, and I hope you enjoyed. And please hit that like button, or think about subscribing. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.